more I realized this is the right thing. Because this is liberty. This is what God has given us. And it is our job in this constitutional republic to uphold that. We are, if there ever was a king and queen, it's us in this land. We have no king in this land except us. This is the resolution that I don't think it's been introduced in the House of North Carolina yet. This is the resolution that's going to be introduced in the House of Representatives in the state of North Carolina legislature. And this is, the sponsors are Cleveland, Justice, Blackwood, the primary sponsors. Holloway is the co-sponsor. And this is what it says. A House resolution supporting the state's right to claim sovereignty over certain powers under the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. Whereas the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States reads as follows. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or the people. Okay, we know that. Whereas the 10th Amendment defines the total scope of federal power as being that specifically granted by the Constitution of the United States and no more. We know that. And whereas the scope of power defined by the 10th Amendment means that the federal government was created by the states, specifically, to be an agent of the states. Now that's good. Whereas today, in 2009, the states are demonstrably treated as agents of the federal government. Yes, they are. And they are. Whereas many federal mandates are directly in violation of the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, and whereas Section 4 of Article 4 of the Constitution of the United States says, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, which we don't have, and the 9th Amendment states that the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. We know that. That's in the Constitution. That's nothing new. Whereas the United States Supreme Court ruled in New York versus United States 112 Supreme Court 2408 in 1992 that Congress may not simply commandeer the legislative and regulatory processes of the states, and whereas the number of proposals from previous administrations and some now pending from the present administration and from Congress may further violate the Constitution of the United States. Now therefore be it resolved by the House of Representatives. Here's a resolution. Section 1. The North Carolina House of Representatives supports the state's right to claim sovereignty under the 10th Amendment. What does that mean, supports? We support this 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States over all powers not otherwise enumerated and granted to the federal government and reserved to the people by the Constitution of the states of the United States. I'm not sure what that says, other than what we already know that it says.
Maybe there's enough people in the state, beyond the state, right?
I'm not sure, but it gets worse. I mean, better. I mean,
There's more.
The North Carolina House of Representatives urges the federal government, as the agent of the state, to cease and desist, effective immediately, mandates that are beyond the scope of any constitutionally delegated powers. Well, we certainly want to urge them to do that, don't we? Yeah, well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is kind of like a.
Would you do that, please?
Section 3, the North Carolina House of Representatives further urges that compulsory federal legislation which directs states to comply under threat of civil or criminal penalties or sanctions, or requires states to pass legislation or lose federal funding, be prohibited or reviewed. Well, we certainly want to urge that. Section 4, the principal clerk shall transmit a certified copy of this resolution to the United States President, United States Senate Speaker, United States House of Representatives. 5, this resolution is effective upon adoption. To say that I was disappointed would be an understatement. Urge. What is that like? I really got to go to the bathroom, but I'm not going to go. You know, I mean, what is the urge? How do you do that? I mean, does that require anything? I mean, it doesn't require anything. Urge. So I told him, I said, well, if this is it, how are you going to implement this? And what is it going to accomplish? And then I asked him, what is going to change between the relationship of the state of North Carolina and the federal government as regards this, what did I say? Hey, Wanda.
Hey, excuse me.
You're all right. It just had to do with what is the effect going to be between the government. I don't know. I can't see anything happening. This is just window dressing, but at the same time, like I said, it is an opportunity, and it does show that they recognize the problem. Now they admit in their own writing that apparently all they can do is urge the federal government. That's apparently all they have the power to do as a federal satellite, I guess. You know, if you're feeding from the trough, I don't guess it's a real good thing to take the trough away, right? I'm not going to get behind this one. I'm going to get behind something else that I might draw up.
That's the one that circulated around some of the Republican Party conventions, and I believe those last two that they're different than what you just noticed. It's about the same.
Ross, is that the same one?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the one I brought from the Republican County convention. But it actually, there's another one floating around. Last paragraph was worded a little differently. They had us.
Where did this come from?
They came to Gifford County GOP convention this year.
Oh, this is probably something they submitted to the
Yes, and we
representatives.
passed it as a resolution.
And this is what was all.
Maybe that's what came of it. Now.
Yeah, because this is actually the bill that they circulated on the legislature for signature, and this is what they're going to be presenting on the floor to